Welcome back. I'm Jen, and I'm a huge fan of Stable Diffusion, the open source machine learning text-to-image model that can be used to generate digital images from natural language descriptions, commonly referred to as prompts. In the previous video, I showed you how to install Stable Diffusion and generate your first image. In this video, I'll show you how to get better results. First, we will cover the purposes and differences of the prompt and the negative prompt. Second, we'll look at the sampling step slider and the sampler method choices. And third, we'll examine the CFG or Classifier Free Guidance scale slider. And then, finally, we'll send our image into the next step of the image generation pipeline, image to image. Before we get started, there are a couple of settings I would like to point out. If you have multiple checkpoint files, you'll want to check the one you want to use here. I only have one and have selected it. Scroll down to the user interface section and check the box Show Progress Bar and move the slider to any number greater than 0. This will allow you to see your creation being built through the steps and makes it possible to observe the behaviors during the process. I also select Request Browser Notifications and then make sure to select Apply Settings before returning to the Text to Image tab. The prompt box is where you write the description of what you're imagining. This can be simple or complex. I'm imagining animals playing poker. The results, not surprisingly, have produced a dog at the poker table. The negative prompt box removes what you prompt from the results. So when I put a dog in the negative prompt box and run it again, the new image doesn't contain any dogs. Let's try it again. I'll remove the negative prompt and add casino boat and click Generate. Again, we seem to have something resembling a dog at the casino boat table. But my casino boat doesn't allow pigs because they can't swim. So I'll run it again with pigs in the negative prompt. Ah, that's better. Much closer to what I imagined to begin with. Sampling steps refer to the number of times the software steps through the model trying to make sense and imagine your prompt. Most text-to-image prompts can be somewhat imagined in the default setting of 20 sampling steps. However, the results can be impacted significantly dependent on where the scale is set. Also, the number of steps will impact the overall time it takes to complete the task. As we watch a few examples, note that more steps is not always the recipe for a better picture. Along with the number of steps, the sampling method that is chosen needs to be considered when trying to attain a desired output. It's very possible that one method will generate better images at lower steps than another. You'll need to raise or lower the number of steps and see what you get. Here's a grid showing the product of sampling methods at different step intervals. Another way to regenerate the prompted image is to adjust the CFG slider scale. The CFG, or Classifier Free Guidance scale, has values ranging from 0 to 30 in half-step increments. Adjusting the slider impacts how strongly the image conforms to the prompt. Lower values produce more creative results. Finally, we have something we can work with. Click the Send to Image button under the generated photo to start working with your new image. In future videos, we'll work with image-to-image tools and start to advance our understanding of how to get more out of Stable Diffusion.